It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? Yeah, in the office, baby. Going up.
All right, here we go. On a Friday, cruising into the weekend with you, Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and CB. How you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling good. CB, let me get some more of that instrumental because it's a Freaky Friday and the weather is nice. Drop the tops. This is a beautiful day, man. I'm feeling good. It's Friday here with you guys again, our wonderful listeners. Happy National Pie Day. That's P-I Day. So hopefully, you know, you get you some pizza later, maybe some of that sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, whatever you want.
That's the pie they're talking about?
They're not talking about that. But what the focus is, it isn't 3.14 and all those other numbers that come along with it. This is Pie Day. That gives you an excuse to eat some more pizza or some more P-I-E. So hopefully people will have that and consume.
Not you.
Some pie.
The other people.
Eat it for me. Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
Eat it for me.
Right.
A nice liver or sweet potato pie does sound good right now. How you feeling, big dog? You good?
Yeah, not too bad, man. We got a good show for you today. We'll have we'll check in at the rink. They got shut out on their home ice last night, so not good. Good for my fantasy team with Aiden Hill, but not good for them. Dave Maetzold, Ringside Reporter, 12:30. Maddie will get into the analytics of the NFL with our boy Tej Seth of Data Science. At 1:30, we'll have Ryan Roberts on A to Z. We'll talk about the draft with him at 2:30. We'll get into pressure cooker and over-unders and all our good stuff on a Friday. We did not talk about this yesterday, on how you felt. I don't even know if you saw it. It may have just gone under the radar for you. Maybe it did for a lot of people. But the dust up with Michigan and Michigan State that happened at the end of that game.
I did not see this.
The one where, CB, did you see it? The one where Dusty May didn't know about the tradition of Michigan State, and they're going to kiss the floor at the minute.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing about this.
And then
okay.
Michigan had the two dudes just off the free throw line standing at midcourt.
Yeah.
So when this first happened, I was like, all right, so what? Not a big deal. And then the opposite happened where it was like, Dusty May had to know about this. I don't know if necessarily he was in that mind. People were calling him out that he kind of instructed his players or knew it was going to happen, kind of offshooting the little celebration that Sparty likes to do.
Was he mad at Izzo? Who was he upset with?
He wasn't upset at anybody. People were upset at him for not basically paying homage to Michigan State's tradition, and Dusty claimed that he wasn't familiar with it, and that was it. I mean, basically it started, if you guys haven't seen it, started after Michigan took the final. I'll have to go back and see exactly when it happened, but there's no further action on it. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was one of those things that I thought that it had a rivalry tinge to it, and it was one of those things that the game's still going on and all that, and why would two Michigan players decide to stand right at the center where MSU players kind of kissed the logo? Yeah. And everyone was saying there was no reason for them to be there.
For the Wolverines to be there.
They knew it was coming, and they decided to
be a little petty. Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen this tradition that you're talking about. I did not know that there was a dust-up that happened in the last matchup between the Wolverines and the Spartans. Okay, that was not on my radar when it happened. So, yeah, listen, I would hope that Dusty May, he had to know that, right?
He claims he didn't.
You had to.
The guy played was at Indiana, kind of knew what was going on. I don't know. I was talking to Dockich about it, and he was like, I've been in this league 1,000 years, and it just wasn't anything that was on his radar. That Michigan State, doing their senior tradition of kissing the Spartan logo, they subbed out for the last time. Two Michigan players decided to stand right on the center where MSU players kiss, and that there was no reason for them to be there from a basketball game sense. And Holloman took exception to it, and the fight was on.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt it was a little arrogant of both teams. Michigan to stand there and Michigan State to care that much about it. But it was their deal, and they wanted to get them out of there. And
it's their tradition. I have no issue with Sparty.
But why should everybody know that? Why should they assume that everybody knows their tradition unless it is a rivalry like Michigan State? You would think you would know. So that was it.
That's where Dusty May and Michigan, they lose me a little bit.
Probably so.
Because it is a rival, and it's something that I've seen them do for years, that being Michigan State. And so,
I honestly didn't pay attention to it.
Okay.
This was new to me. I watched it forever, and I just didn't really occur to me. Yeah. Maybe most of the years that they have their senior day, it's not against Michigan, and so they get to do it, so I never think anything of it. Now, the reason it drew my attention is because Michigan decided to put two dudes there there. It's kind of like we've seen that in sports before. You knew the players had to know. Players had to know.
Everybody knew. Yeah. Players, coaches, they knew. Dusty knew.
So he knew and didn't care, right? Yeah.
That's what I think.
Anyway, it's not a big deal. I just I didn't know if you had seen that and what you thought of it. But we got a lot to do today. I did remind Maddie today, and this is not a big deal. I looked at him and I said before the show, I said, hey, when's this baseball game in Tokyo? When's this happening?
The games that actually count, I believe,
it's a game that counts.
Tuesday. Do I have it the 18th? Is that correct? The Dodgers getting after it? We're starting next week, baby. It's time to go.
It's unbelievable. And it's against the Cubs.
Okay.
And it counts in fantasy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This weekend.
That's unbelievable.
I got to lock in.
I can't lie. You know what? It's so weird when the sports just blend and blur together and they overlap and all that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful for us, for sports fans. It's not beautiful for fantasy guys.
Yeah, I'm doing one baseball league and I'm doing one bracket on Sunday, and I'm done.
I better only do one bracket this year.
I'm only doing
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
God forbid.
Well,
oh, no.
I think CB had some evidence, or some people around here thought they had some evidence that you were trying to do some fishy stuff with the bracket last year.
Can I give my take on this? What are you going to play on?
Here comes a ding, I think.
But are you on my side or against me with the ding?
I think he's calling you out.
He's calling me out.
He's one of the people that
Then you don't know the story.
You ain't got the facts, CB. That's what the man's saying.
No, you tried to explain it last year. It doesn't defeat the fact that we were supposed to only submit one.
That's not okay. So here's what happens. What had happened was.
See what had happened was.
You guys, I'm going to tell you, and then you can be the judge, and I'll live with what you guys say. All right. We do the little bracket thing. There's a sponsor and all that, and we ask listeners to do it, and then we do like a fan side of it. We just kind of see how bad our picks are or how good they are. And so over the years, and we've done this for many years, and over the years, and you can ask other hosts, you can put in, quote, up to 3. Oh. Change that. Get that out of there. Don't do the up to 3. Just say 1 and that's it. 1 and done. So what I did was I decided to, see, he's already shaking his head. The jury is totally poisoned. He's not even willing to listen to my story.
He ain't buying it.
I'm not listening to it because I did it once before and I got yelled at for it, so I stopped doing 3.
Oh, so he even committed the crime and he's not on my side.
Your claim is that AR did more than 1 to try and do what?
Yeah, it's like when you go to Halloween and they put out the bowl of candy and say, please take 1. You could take 3, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to.
Here's the rest of the story. Now that he's out of it, you're the only one left. Because clearly he's not siding with, thick as thieves. He did it before and now I'm the bad guy. So we're told you can put it up to 3. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's more fun to have a few extra shots at it. I told Scotty Vegas, he said, tell me which bracket is for the contest.
Okay.
I told him because I labeled them different numbers or names or what have you.
Yeah.
I think one was Hockey and Hounds and the other one was like AR2, AR3, whatever. I said, put the Hockey and Hounds one in there. That's the one I'm going with. He said, great. I go to the section. They're all 3 in there. And then he says, well, I can't really, the app won't allow me to get those out of there. The other ones, we'll just make that it. So then I hear through friends who listen to the station that I'm getting batted around like a piñata by like Fidoff and Winters for weeks. Weeks. Like this is not like a 1-week thing. Oh, and you know why? Because Fidoff wanted to win the damn thing. And he knew that one of my sheets whichever one it was winning at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like, let's just flamethrow this guy every week without asking me, without coming to me. It was not my fault. So guess what? One bracket this year.
You're good.
I don't want to hear it. I don't care. It was just for my own fun.
Okay.
Those weren't even supposed to appear on the site.
Yeah. CB, does that
I wanted to give you guys full context.
how do you feel about that explanation?
Well, the up to 3 option is, and I think it's going to be the case again for the bracket challenge this year, is for the fans that are tuning in and joining the bracket contest. We're just supposed to be out there to be the beat the talent option.
Okay. Air, I think your heart was in the right spot. I think it
Never
was.
again. Never happening. I like the fact that Thidoff didn't even like text or call and say, hey, before I just completely flamethrow you on my weekend show every week, and then Jen like comes in from the top rope and then basically calls me a cheater, and then he winds up winning anyway, so it's good for me, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Okay.
I told you last year.
Maybe we need
you
to hear
find
from
out who your
Thidoff.
friends are. No, I don't think so. I think I already know what I'm dealing with there, and that's fine. So I'll do one bracket, and
Yeah,
that'll
me
be
too.
it.
I'm not doing more than one this year.
But I will tell you, Scotty's my witness. I said, put that one in, not the other two.
Okay.
I just want to kind of toy with it with the other brackets. All right.
Feel better or worse after that?
I don't really feel any better. I just feel better that I got the story out there. He's still shaking his head. And he did it years ago. And by the way, every now and then I think Bo put in 3 brackets and other people like
Just drag people in with you. Everybody's doing it.
Well,
Well,
the best part about it is I did win that year, and then I got expired gift cards.
he did win that, and you won the
I
year
couldn't
that you
even
put
use my
3 in.
prize.
Oh, man. Expired gift cards is the best.
By the way, do you see the thing he just threw at the end? By the way, the year I did 3, I happened to win.
Happen to win.
Yeah.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
I received my punishment.
You ain't
really
cheating, you
wait,
ain't
they gave
trying.
you expired gift cards, really?
Yes.
That's tough.
Did you know they were expired, or you tried to use them and then they
No, I saw it on the cards. It said Best Buy a certain date, and it was already past that.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you might have been able to kind of weasel that through. Maybe.
No, I just took it as punishment.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, look at that.
Get the world you deserve.
Look at that. I took it as punishment. Okay. All right, we'll get after it. Myles Garrett. This actually fits the tease. Sell out or buy in. You'll find out next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Now at participating locations, it's UDF's new Sicilian-style pizza. We serve it on our family recipe focaccia crust, handcrafted in our bakery. And right now, get any size Coca-Cola fountain drink free with your purchase. Pizza from United Dairy Farmers, made for you.
For 100 years, our passionate Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler's at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-4060. That's 614-324-4060 or loveyourveins.com.
Hey, it's Anthony, and I've got a fitting personalized for you. From the moment you walk in the Good Feet store, they're going to take the time to understand your unique lifestyle, your daily routines, and most importantly, the pain that brought you in to see them in the first place. If your feet ache after a long day or that discomfort starts radiating through your knees, your hips, your back, I've been there. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And they're working for me. I walked all over the place in New Orleans covering the big game. I was loving it. I literally was walking for miles around the French Quarter, Canal Street, everywhere, because I had my personally fit arch supports in my shoes. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. I want you to be one of them. Go in, take the free test walk. They're immediately available. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
March is on at Lindsay Honda. Shoot your shot and save. It's madness. You get to choose your finance rate on over 600 new Lindsay Hondas. 0%, 1.9, 2.9, and up to a full 60 months long. And no trade-in required. This deal works with zero down. March is on at Lindsay Honda. Save with rates as low as 0% at lindsayhonda.com. Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. See lindsayhonda.com for details. Morning Juice.
You want your product to be seen by a lot of people, and the college football product is good on TV. But going against the NFL, that's tough.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Do you realize making the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards, it'll take nearly 20 years to pay them off? What if I told you there's a way for you to get them all paid off in just a matter of weeks? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Imagine wiping out all of your credit cards. Here's where you go. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending is the easy button for tapping in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in your home equity. That's not the bank money, it's your money. Listen, your home, the value is way up. And now AFLcash.com has a super fast, hassle-free program that lets you turn that equity into cash. People who do this are living their best life, their credit card debt free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements, maybe a vacation. See how much money you can get now. Go to AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. That's AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunshine out there today. Man, is it nice to get outside. High 78. Heading into tomorrow, we're tracking showers and thunderstorms. A couple storms could contain damaging winds up to 45 miles per hour. Not to mention, we do have a flood risk tomorrow. Could be looking at as many as 2 inches of rain. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Inniss. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Inniss.
Our PD Fish did a wellness check during the break. I think he thinks I'm going to walk out into traffic over the bracket thing. Let me explain something.
Oh, man. You don't have to explain anything.
What we do here on this here radio station is amplify our personalities on occasion. That's what radio is. I don't have highlights or scores or anything to show you visually. All we have is our little experiences and our stories. And if we don't exaggerate them every now and then, it's tough to engage people. So I'll raise the curtain a little bit. Nobody's as mad as they sound or as happy as they sound every day on these mics. You amplify it a little bit for effect. It happens.
You telling them how the sausage is made right now?
I'm not saying that you don't think that way. I'm just saying that sometimes you amplify it a little bit. So I just want to tell our program director Fish, I'm not going to go to the top of the bridge and jump off.
No,
I'm good.
Listen, and I wouldn't let you do that. I'd be holding on to your ankles like ankle weights. You ain't going anywhere, okay?
Maybe a tandem jump, maybe a bungee jump. I've told you I'd rather, if you gave me the choice, I think you gave me this choice. It was a great choice. Would you jump out of a plane or bungee jump? And I think that I've got a better chance of probably surviving in a decent way by just trusting the 2 parachutes versus that rubber band.
It's more than a rubber.
Like, I feel like
it's more than a rubber. I honestly think when you got me up in the plane, I would probably faint of fear, honestly. Like I don't
have to
know.
get pushed out.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it.
Yeah.
Even when you have the air quote professional with you, with his parachute, your parachute, whatever it is, like so much respect to people that do that. Because I'm not built for that at all. Bungee jump all day and tomorrow. I would do that off, the Empire
it's definitely
State
not
Building.
as high. Oh, wait. Oh, I was thinking you take the bungee because it wasn't as high as the plane.
As high as you want to go. I'd do the bungee jump over the plane. Because I get a little freaked out when I'm on the plane and I'm like, oh, we're up here in the clouds.
Maddie, you couldn't even
up
get
here.
me to the edge of the bungee jump.
You do have that fear of heights.
I'm not doing that.
The fear, which is odd because you'd rather jump out of the plane, which still involves that fear of heights, but you don't want to do the bungee jump. You're like my friend who doesn't like cheese. Like he'll get a burger and just get like a hamburger, but then he'll house a whole large pizza. And I'm like, how does that work? You don't like cheese, but you're smashing pizza.
That's interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I listened to the entire Myles Garrett press conference today.
What'd you think?
I walked in. He had a little dinosaur figures out there for him and the cupcakes and everything, and they made him feel like it was his birthday.
The suit was fire.
I guess it was kind of
the all brown suit.
Yeah, the monochromatic stuff. Is that back now?
Yeah, it was clean.
Okay.
Yeah, look nice.
Because I remember when Regis did it on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for years with the tie match, the shirt was a solid. They called it monochromatic, and that's back now?
Every once in a while you bust it out.
Never really left?
Probably not.
Okay.
Everything's back now.
I did like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of fudge. And I would say that the other part of this is I thought the media did a pretty good job because we wanted to know, everybody wanted to know what changed. What could have changed since you typed out that thing? What could they have told you? What's going to happen? And you know why they want to know? Not just to kind of put them under the spotlight.
Yeah.
Because they want to know the answers. Wow. Because if Myles came back and it's not about the money, then they must have a secret. That they have a secret to success that he knows about.
Listen.
So if you ask Myles Garrett, well, what changed? Not about the money. Guess what that does? It feeds your fan base of, well, wait a minute. Something convinced him if it's not the money.
You know, I know, CB knows, our listeners know. What changed? CB, fire up. We know what changed. He's never going to admit it, but that's it right there. Because to your point, AR, as far as the outlook of this team, football-wise, right now, specifically at the quarterback position, nothing has changed. They brought in Kenny Pickett. Whoop-de-doo. That's not convincing Myles Garrett that they're ready to contend. Kenny Pickett's going to be probably their backup quarterback. He's not going to admit it on record. Athletes never really admit on record that the reason why they make certain decisions are rooted in financial security. For him right now, at this point in his career, he's earned the right to acquire or bring home a contract like this. But when he was asked about it today, I was not expecting him to say, yeah, you know why I changed my mind? Because Andrew Berry slid a piece of paper across the table that said I'm making $40 a year. That's the God's honest truth. That's the why he came back.
I'm listening to this thing, and they're asking the right questions about why he decided to change. It's, well, moves, changes, we got draft picks. Well, we knew all that.
Exactly.
We knew all that.
Right.
We knew you had draft picks. That he actually had the guts to say it was never about the money. That it was always about winning. Well, then what changed? He also said he didn't even know what the deal would be. That his agent went to work, and he assumed she was going to get a good deal, and guess what happened? It happened. He didn't regret the way he handled it. You'll hear some of the sound. I'm just looking at my notes from the press conference. I thought he dodged a lot of questions.
Okay.
Details of it, which is his prerogative to do. Here he is on if he needs. See, this is a weird one. If he needs to make amends with the fans, I guess because he abandoned them, wanted out, and now he's back. And now there may be some bridges to mend.
I don't want to speak for the Browns fans. Like, I think you would probably have to go down that road if you miss games and they turned into losses. I mean, we're talking March.
Maybe because he took him on a little anxious roller coaster ride of wanting out. Here's his answer to that.
No. I mean, from day one, I've always said that I've wanted to bring a championship to Northeast Ohio. So that doesn't change, my stance. And I'm just going to continue to turn those opinions around or reinforce those opinions by going out and doing what I've always done, going out and make plays, being a great teammate, great leader, and being the best person I could be on this field and off the field for the Cleveland Browns.
He could have done all that without getting a new deal. All that was still available to him. Listen, he's an unbelievable player. Browns fans are celebrating. They got him. They don't care. It's not their money. And they've already seen their organization spend foolishly anyway on the quarterback. So they understand that this money isn't foolish spending.
No, not
this
at
is
all.
this is good money spent. Here he is on why he thinks they're closer to contending.
I mean, we'll continue to see that as the days go by, continue to make moves and changes. And, with the picks we have in the draft, then you continue to see us add more and more weapons to this team and, see how we continue to mesh and grow.
Yeah, nothing. No details. The Radio Road Tour, when he would tell anybody that would listen how he wanted out and how he wanted to be on a winner and didn't want to go from Cleveland to Canton.
Like I said, that media road run, that created more discourse between myself and management. That created, conversation between myself and AB, Jimmy, and up and down the chain, and that kind of stuff, became a main variable for this deal getting done. These conversations down the road. So I think the fans will see that my heart's in the right place. It's never been about money. It's always been about winning, and that's where my frustration lies. And I want to thank Nicole because she's the best agent in the world, and I didn't have any really input on how the deal was going to look, but just know that when the time came, and we all know we're on the same page. That she went on and did what she does and got the best deal possible for myself and for the Browns.
So what did they tell you, Myles? If it was never about the money, how did they win you back if it wasn't with money? That answer was never told.
Because that's how they won him back. That's how they won him back. The card or cards that Myles Garrett played, we've seen this before from athletes, right? You do the trade request, you do the scrubbing of, everything Browns related on social media. He didn't do that. I believe, that's what these guys do. And so I don't think a lot of people are buying what he said there. And I'm one of those people, and that's fine. Because, look, Myles, he's going to go out and do his thing and be a big-time performer, but he is not the first, nor will he be the last to be in a situation that's not comfortable in his mind, not a winning situation, that gets swayed by money and says, you know what, hey, I'm good where I'm at because of this financial bag that I'm getting that's absolutely massive for the next 3-4 years of my career. I'm not turning that down. I don't blame him for turning that down, but we know some of those answers that we got today aren't rooted in total honesty. Yeah. They're just not.
All right, he's back, and that's the bottom line. They had a press conference for their best player, and so Browns fans can celebrate that. We'll come back in 2 minutes with Dave Maetzold, ringside reporter for the CBJ. They better string it together now. How will they handle the pressure? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, huh?
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Confidence is key this March, both in picking the right Cinderella teams for your bracket and the right contractor for your exterior project. When it comes to your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call the team you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF today or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 4/24/2025 for travel between 3/13/2025 and 8/17/2025. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Skyline is celebrating St. Patty's Day for 2 days this year. Come enjoy your favorite 3, 4, or 5 wave with green noodles, March 16th and 17th only. The only place to get your green waves is at participating Skyline locations.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio Sports sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, the sweet spot for the Jackets is still wild card. They're still in it, 70 points, 65 games played. And so we are closing in on it. 17 to go. They've lost a couple in a row. Home ice has been so good to them, scoring goals at a record rate. Most goals scored on home ice in the NHL this season. And then Aiden Hill says, not tonight. And that's what happened. Very frustrating because I thought they played well. They ran into a hot goaltender. That can happen. But now they got to get right, and they know a team that's coming for revenge may be the New York Rangers. So it's pressure-packed. It's fun. It's dramatic. We didn't think we'd be in this spot in mid to late March, so that's fun. But now we have to embrace that. And the guy that's always ringside is our friend Dave Maetzold, FanDuel Sports Network, and he is with us now. Mets, good to have you, my man.
Always good to be with you guys, and yeah, it is fun, but it sure is pressure-packed, right? I mean, that's the fun of playoff hockey and fighting for a spot, and that's right where they are now.
So we'll kind of go forward before we go backward to last night. So here come the Rangers again on Saturday night, and that was a game where it was Tarasov and Quick, correct? So this could be completely different tomorrow night if it's Shesterkin and Elvis, correct?
Could be completely different game. I don't see him putting 7 on the best goaltender in the world, or one of the best goaltenders in the world, that's for sure. And the Rangers come in after a win last night, and they buoyed themselves into thinking they're right in the picture because they are with 6 other teams. So it's going to have a great atmosphere Saturday night, full building. Jackets had a team meeting this morning. We just got out of a conversation with Dean Evison. He said they got together this morning, and he said the attitude is right, the attitude is good. Everything is where it needs to be going into this game. And that was a little awkward because as I was saying it, Dean Evison was walking by. So, okay, that's fine.
Just the beauty of live radio right there, Dave. I love that. Good to hear from you again, man. One thing that I'm sure Dean talked about, the guys have talked about, is special teams right now is hurting them, right? They're not cashing in on the power play, especially against teams like Vegas, as you know, like that can help close the gap against some of the elite teams around the sport. But just talk about that aspect of the game right now and what you're seeing and maybe why they're struggling a bit there.
Really vital last night, too. They had 6 minutes of power play time, could not get one past Aiden Hill. And then late in the period, here come the Golden Knights on a power play, and Jack Eichel makes a beautiful play. So, yeah, special teams are hurting them a little bit. Again, we just talked to Evison about how much they miss Sean Monahan on that power play, playing in that bumper position. He was so good at it, really kind of drove that power play. It kept things calm on the power play. They didn't rush. They stayed patient. They waited for their opportunities. He just said, like minutes ago, we're going to try some new people in that position and see if that changes things up. But they've got to get things going because the other thing, guys, and it sounds so cliche, but these big, heavy teams, Florida, the Vegas team last night, Tampa to a certain extent, they crank things up right now. They need every point they can get to. Even if they're in it, they want home ice. They want the best position possible. The Jackets need to find a way to match that.
Are they going to get is Goodbranson coming back soon? What do you know about how they're going to filter some guys in and here in the stretch run?
So interesting to watch, Anthony, because last night Jake Christensen goes down. He's not going to play tomorrow night. So who draws in? We're watching practice this morning, and that doesn't look like Goodbranson's going to be the guy. Looks like it's going to be Jack Johnson. He was out there taking most of the line rushes there. So it looks like it's going to be Jack, but you keep hearing, and when we ask Dean how close is Goodbranson, he's close. He's really close. He looks close. He's been cleared. It's really, I think, going to be what we find out tomorrow morning in terms of which way they want to go there.
So the special team stuff, as you talked about, has been a thorn in their side for sure. But also, Mets, it's the starts of these games too, right? And crawling out of these holes, like a 3-0 start versus New Jersey, 2-0 start last night versus Vegas. They gotta find a way to get out of their own way and get off to some better starts, because we know they've got the offensive firepower. But that's something too that's been holding them back here over the last couple games.
That was the quirky thing about last night, is it was a really strong start. They were out chancing them, out shooting them, not shots on goal, but shot attempts, like 33-9 after the first period. Yet they're down after the first 20. It makes no sense. Sometimes you have games like that, but they needed to take advantage of what was really a pretty good start last night. Then Vegas adjusts in the second period, and they weren't giving up anything once they had the lead. So they've got to keep that. Again, it sounds cliche, but they got to play the full 60. They can't just have a strong first or a strong middle or whatever. They got to play the full 60, a strong 3 periods.
You know, you and I, we've watched a lot of hockey. We've watched a lot of this team and other teams, and it just felt like with that huge advantage in shot attempts that you just talked about, and all of a sudden they got to go on the kill. And the first shot of the damn game for Vegas is a sweet pass from Eichel to Waugh on the back door, and it's 1-0. And certainly that's not on Elvis. But did you get that feeling, Dave, from last night? And I've had it before where your team is dominating but not cashing in, and then it kind of messes with your mind a little bit.
Yeah, Brian Hedger from the Columbus Dispatch asked that question in postgame last night. He said, when that happened, did you just kind of say to yourself, uh-oh? And Dean just shakes his head like, yep, I sure did, because that's the way momentum changes in a hockey game. You feel like you got things under control, then one slips by you and everything changes. And that's again, you got to be at a different level of sharpness at this time of year because those kind of things happen. That happens in the middle of December, you don't think about it. But when it happens right now, it gets in the back of your mind real quick.
So in the game against the Rangers, Fantilli throws out a Hattie, right? And, there's so much excitement around that draft pick a couple years ago just based off of the potential at the time. But we're really starting to see that come into focus. He's high up there on the team right now in total points and all of those things. Dave, just talk about the growth that you've seen from Fantilli since the time he was drafted to where he is right now.
One of the things I loved about that hat trick was 2 of those 3 goals were right in front of the net. Like not in the blue, but right there in the house, right where you like to score goals. That had been a point of emphasis going into that game, is that they wanted to get there. They wanted to crash the net a little bit harder. And Adam Fantilli has had to learn that. When you're playing at the University of Michigan and you're one of the best players on the ice, it's easier to score off the rush. In the NHL, you got to get to those dirty areas, as they say. And he's learned from guys like Sean Monahan. He's learned from guys like JVR and Boone. That's where you got to go to get those goals. And the fact that 2 of the 3 of those came from right there, I think is a really good sign. He told me after the game, when I asked him about that, he said, look, I've been learning that my whole life. I know that's where you got to go, but you pay a much deeper price at the NHL level than you do when you're playing at the University of Michigan or even earlier in his career.
Mets, we had Z on Wednesday on Hockey and Hounds, and I asked him, are you sensing that after the Stadium Series that the narrative has changed, that now you've gone from a team that could make the playoffs to should make the playoffs? And how will you handle that pressure? Do you think this team is built for it? And he basically said, we've felt pressure the entire time, different types of pressure. He didn't think it was a different layer of pressure, but I think from just a human nature aspect, you talk to these guys, you see these guys. How loose do they feel? How was last night different? Did they look? I know they lost the game, so it makes sense to be disappointed. But where are you on their ability now to stand up and take this thing?
I think it's a learning process, and I think they have to take losses like the one on the road at Florida and the one last night here at home. They have to take those and learn from them because there's still so many young guys who've never been through it at this point. Of course the temperature is turned up. Of course the intensity level is turned up. You would expect it to be, and it's what I said earlier. It's all teams, whether it's a team fighting to get into a wild card spot or a team that's firmly in. They know they're in. They just want to improve their position. It's how you learn to handle that, right? So 6 weeks ago, they go to Vegas and they beat the Golden Knights. That's a different team than they saw last night because the Golden Knights are battling for position. They're playing a more playoff style of hockey. The Jackets need to learn to adjust to that. And when you got a bunch of young 20-somethings, it's a little bit longer process than it might be if you've got a little more mature team.
So, Mets, before we let you go, it was brought up on the program yesterday by my man AR that you guys a few years ago or years ago, I don't know exactly when it was, took a trip down in Miami, and I thought to myself, you guys in the streets of Miami years ago, who knows what you were getting into? Can we get a little story as to what happened down in the 305?
Well, we both thought our Vikes would be there. That I do know.
That's exactly right. I texted him when I found out you were going to have Morton Anderson on. I'm like, I'm not sure I have the stomach for this. I'm not sure I can listen to a guy who broke my heart. All ready to go see the Vikes playing the Super Bowl. First one I would have ever gone to. First one I've gone to date. And I got to see John Elway win his second. Damn, wasn't supposed to work out that way.
Well, we also did not pull a Eugene Robinson on Ocean Drive, so we're good there too.
That is true also.
You remember that story?
I do. I do.
Yeah, man of the year. Found himself in the back of a cop car. Yeah, not good on Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
One day, man. One day. I say it, but I don't really believe it. But yeah. And you know what? It was funny because I told Maddie, Morton Anderson, everyone thought that he and Gary were brothers. Obviously, they weren't. And the Vikes kicker was Gary, and he made every kick that year. He was 35 of 35. And then, do you remember how long the one that he missed that could have iced it? The ones against the Falcons at home?
I don't remember. I was less than 40. It wasn't long.
Unbelievable.
All right, boys, I just want to paint a picture here for you. I've got to paint a quick picture for you. The Fury have their volleyball court out here at Nationwide Arena, right?
Right.
And the Rangers are going to skate here in a second. So Chris Kreider and Matt Rempe are out here on the Fury volleyball court, and they're knocking the volleyball around. Chris Kreider and Matt Rempe. Now, just think about Rempe and Matthew Olivier, right? And now they're volleyball players. Okay, that's up to the minute, right from Nationwide Arena.
Good stuff. Hey, by the way, I looked it up while you were saying that. Man, you have a good memory. The crucial kick that would have put the Vikes up 10 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter would have clinched us going to that Super Bowl and watching them was a 39-yarder.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was just less, yeah.
Well done. All right, man. Well, now you can blot it out of your memory after we just talked about it.
No, sadly, I never will.
All right, my friend.
I never will.
Have a great time tomorrow night and get them a victory.
We'll do our best, boys.
Thanks, Mets. Dave Maetzold, Ringside Reporter, FanDuel Sports Network on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll play overs and unders. Next, Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
Want to know what will warm you up faster than a championship? How about spring and Oakland Nursery's annual Spring Fling, March 15th to the 23rd. Time to create the premier lawn in your neighborhood with Oakland's best DIY program, the 4-application lawn program from the Andersons, exclusively at Oakland. The entire 4-application program, just $69.99. This spring marks Oakland's 85th year of providing the finest plant material in Central Ohio. If you haven't been to Oakland Nursery, you simply haven't been to a nursery.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Fun little story that Mets told about Rangers playing volleyball.
Hey, you know?
At Nationwide. We've been, those games are fun. The Fury games?
Oh, yeah, man.
We had a blast there.
Yeah, it was rocking in there. And you had to, did we referee something? What did you do?
I can't remember.
You had to,
bump, set, and spike something?
Yeah, but they made you do some type of, they put us to
half
work
drunk.
over there.
I had to bump, set, and spike something, and then spin around on a ball or something.
No, it really is a good time if you're looking for something to do outside of a Jackets game, Clippers game, whatever. But
very good.
Get on down to Nationwide and check out the Fury. Those ladies are very, very good at what they do, and it's a good showing. So, yeah, something to do if you haven't done that yet in our fine city.
All right, CB, what do you got?
Yeah, so it was 2 straight weeks for the book over here, doing pretty well. You both went 2-4. You both hit on the over Evan Mobley. Total points at the Hornets. He had 19 in that game. AR, you hit that Jackets Rangers over. It had 10 goals combined in it. And then Matty Ice got the under on the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. He's been cooking us recently. I think he's gotten after us 4 out of the last 5 weeks. He's on
It was that really
right
good. It was really that good week you had about 2 weeks ago that really just got me upset. So I've been going hard on these lines.
We got him 1 week recently.
Let's get him this week. Come on.
I don't know. Some of these are tough.
Let's start with Trey Kaufman-Renn, who could have arguably been one of the candidates for Player of the Year in the Big Ten. He averages 20 points per game. Has one really, really good game against Michigan and one that was average for him, about 15 points. So we will set his over-under for tonight's game against Michigan for total points at 22.5.
Real quick, did I see the kid from Northwestern didn't make first team all Big Ten?
Martinelli did not.
How was that possible? He led the conference in scoring.
Both media and coaches?
Wow.
CB?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure if he was on both.
That's wild, AR. He's got to be on first team, all Big Ten.
Yeah, I know this kid. The kid he's talking about is
Kaufman-Renn.
Yeah, he's first team.
He's
all
a
Big
bucket
Ten.
getter. He is a bucket getter. I don't understand that. Somebody's got to help me with that because the vision is very, very unclear when it comes to this kid from Northwestern. Nick, was it Martinelli? This kid was an absolute dog this year.
Well,
and couldn't get on first team.
There are only 5 spots.
He was not on either the media or the coaches.
Yeah, what are we doing?
But they also only do 5 for having, 18 teams?
Yeah, that's the issue. You're basically doing it as a starting 5. But you're right. I mean, between Tanjay and Kaufman-Renn and maybe the best name in all of the Big Ten, Derek Queen. I really want to take that K off the end of that.
Derek Queen?
Just Dairy Queen. Just why?
We get a blizzard, baby.
I mean, maybe his nickname should be the Blizzard. Derek Queen.
I'm going over for this. I'm going over. He's been locked in recently. I know you mentioned the 2 games, that he's had against him prior to the tournament, but his last 2 outings, 29 against Illinois, a 30-piece against USC. Yeah. I'm going over.
Maddie's right. He's on a heater. And as a first-team All-Big Tenner, it'd be weird if I went under here, but I think he just got me to take the under by doing it at 22.5. So, because I look at what he's done against them this year, the 15 and 22, And then you add the neutral court. We'll see. He's put the team on his back. Yeah. This is probably a bad call, but I think it's fun to kind of do the opposite here. I will take the under on 22.5.
All right, Duke. Probably not going to have Cooper Flag today. Maybe not even the rest of this ACC tournament. We will see. But their total points over-under against North Carolina for the third matchup this season is 80.5.
They're a 1 seed regardless.
Probably.
There'd be no reason to play him. None. Unless there's some phantom injury that suddenly went away. I would not play him because you're not playing for a seed anymore. You got to protect him. He wasn't leading scorer in either one of those games when they played North Carolina anyway. I'm taking the under on this. They've hit the over both times they played Carolina this year of his number, but I'm going to go under because of Flag not being there.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with you on this. I love, over the last 24 hours, CB's just been absolutely bodying Cooper.
It just reminds me so much of the Paul Pierce incident.
Yeah, to see him getting rolled out in a wheelchair and then be back out on the bench, a few minutes later was funny. But yeah, I'm going to go under CB.
CB said he was jumping.
There was, now, Matty Ice probably pointed it out correctly. He was probably hopping on the good foot, so maybe that played a factor into it.
It was odd, though.
All right, let's do the seed number of the winner for the Big Ten. So we'll do this for the Big Ten and the SEC. Let's start with the Big Ten. The tournament winner, their seed number is over under 3.5.
Real quick, AR, just want to give you an update. The first game over in Indy just went to halftime. It's 42-32 Sparty over Oregon right now.
Yeah. Now, if I say under, does that mean I get the 3, the 2, and the 1?
Under is the yes, 1 through 3, and then over is every other number.
I'll do that. You're giving me Michigan State and Maryland. And they're on opposite.
And Michigan.
Well, yeah, and they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
That's the smart play.
I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, that's a smart play. I'm going under, too.
And then with the SEC, we will do over under 2.5.
I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to go under the SEC as well.
Done. I'm taking Auburn.
Heavy.
I get Auburn and Florida. They're both on opposite sides. I'll go under.
All right, next up, the Jackets and Devils for our sweet night on Monday, over under 6.5 goals.
Oh, we're advancing past the game tomorrow night?
Well, I wanted to include the game we're going to be at.
All right. That's amazing.
With us in the house, is it the Rothman and Ice curse in a good way or a bad way when we're there?
This is the conversation I wanted.
A curse?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
We haven't been charting the times we've been there as far as goals given up.
The trend right now would push me towards the under. But you know what? With R&I in the house and a couple of our wonderful listeners, give me the OVA. I'm going over, baby. Let's go.
6.5. Man.
Buttery biscuits going to be flying around everywhere?
6.5.
You want to go under. It is, as you say, a robust number.
It's just a tight game against them. That I think we went over this once against them and under in another, but it was close. You always got to add the, as you say, the empty buttery biscuit. All right, we're going to do a tandem jump. I'm not going to be the guy that goes under on that, so I'll go over.
You're finally on the board with an over. Let's finish with the temperature for the weekend. The high over-under is 68.5.
Put me down for another over, sir.
Didn't our boy Dylan Robichaud say there's flood warnings coming?
He said something about Noah's Ark and the animals going up 2 by 2.
Listen, I don't know what's about to happen. I'm going under. I think the rain's going to cool us off a little bit.
Okay.
So give me the under. If we're supposed to be getting storms tonight or tomorrow morning?
Tonight.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Okay. So the rain.
Going to knock it down a little bit.
The humidity. It's going to be cooler.
There's no humidity out there right now. Okay. No humidity. It's summertime, baby.
We got time for that.
Time for that.
All right. We're going to come back top of the hour Sports Center update here. And the Steelers, are they zeroing in on a combo platter at quarterback themselves? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
Look at that selection of outdoor furniture.
Yeah, whatever your space or budget, you'll find a setup for outside.
How about an outdoor chaise lounge for my...
Get some sun side.
Yeah, and a table for my...
Come on over, I'm grilling side.
And outdoor lights for my...
Date night on the patio side.
Ooh, you're good.
I try. We've got what you need to create an outdoor oasis. Plus, delivery starts at $19 when you shop online or choose to pick up at your local store today.
Go to IKEA-USA.com for more details. Restrictions apply. Some products may require assembly.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. No, I'm Bob Capace. It's more believable when I say it. Make me believe that you're really Bob Capace.
The spring bridal sale is going on now. Buy one, get one 50% off. The best prices of the year on natural and lab-grown diamonds are right now at Worthington Jewelers. On High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com.
Needs work. I don't really buy it.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 are free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
May I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Breaking news. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint.
Let's trade lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. The Blue Jackets got blanked by the Golden Knights in Nationwide last night. The return home from a long road trip was not very inspiring. 4-zip. How about 0 for 3 on the power play? 22 giveaways. It was dreadful. Now, you talk about rubbing salt in the wound. How's it feel to get shut out by Aiden Hill and then turn around this morning and see that Vegas is so pleased with him that he gets a 6-year extension? That deal's probably been negotiated for months, but still. The hits keep coming with the Jackets on this homestand as the Rangers, Devils, and Panthers will be visiting. The scheduling gods have handed the Jackets almost exclusively playoff contenders recently, so this team's got to bring their best stuff. And we got day 3 of the Big Ten Conference Tournament going right now. We have 8 teams remaining, and the matchups are all chalk. 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, and so on. Michigan State and Oregon are in a close one right now. Wisconsin and UCLA will go at 2:30. Illinois and Maryland at 6:30. And then Purdue and Michigan are going to shut it down this evening at 9.
It's Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, back at it, second hour. Tej Seth, football data science, 1:30. Got his Bunsen burner all ready to fire up. Tell us what's going on with the Brownies and their analytics machine and whether it's going to spit out a winner. We got the Players' Championship going on. A couple of those dudes are going in the pressure cooker very soon for me. But that's a fun tournament. I told Maddie during the break, I think, and I don't know this for a fact, TPC Sawgrass with the Island Hole at 17, that if you pay what it costs to play there, and it's a public track, if you got the money, you can do it.
Yeah.
That it's more expensive than Pebble Beach. I was surprised to hear that. I think it's somewhere in the 700s.
That's ridiculous.
Now, maybe Pebble's up there now, too. But I can't imagine, and I'm sure it's a fine golf course, but it's known for the Island Hole. That's what you'd be playing. That's what you'd be paying to play as an amateur. And my buddy says that you don't get to just reload there. Like you hit one in the water, they want to keep the pace of play going. It's not like hit till you're happy, right? You dunk in the water, you go to the drop area, and you move along.
That's an awesome experience.
I assume you can re-tee one time if you chose to. But they don't want it to be a tin cup situation where you say, okay, I made it on the island. But I can't imagine paying like $700 plus and then getting there and dunking a ball.
Yeah,
then saying, now, I guess if you do get on there and you make a par or whatever, they give you like an engraved bag tag and all that good stuff to go home with. But
awesome. Thank you. I'll just fire up the old Tiger Woods video game and play it for free. TPC Sawgrass. There you go. Save my $700. Do something meaningful with it.
Take out the G. All right. Wanted to get to the Pittsburgh situation here and what they're going to do at quarterback. And I want to put a disclaimer on this. If they don't land Aaron Rodgers, I think we need to put that disclaimer on this because it's been a few days now and the Steelers are waiting, just like Adam Schefter is. You got that shit from you have that clip from Adam Schefter and on hand. I would love to hear that again. Him waiting for Rodgers' decision. Do you guys believe, and I'll ask you this, do you believe that the Steelers have an offer on the table right now to Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
You do. I do too.
I believe the Giants do as well.
Do you think my Vikes have thrown their hat in the ring?
I do not. I think they're handing the keys over to JJ, and they'll find somebody else to be his backup.
Why would you pay all that money for Aaron if you weren't going to pay even less for Sam? I agree.
You think Aaron's going to get a deal similar to Sam?
Feels like it.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if I would trust him to play 2 more years, but it seems like
that'd be something there.
I
don't think I'd want to throw that bread at him right now.
The Steelers did make a move at quarterback, Matty.
Yeah, they did.
They brought back Mason Rudolph.
Got that old thing back,
2 years for $8 million total. Why not?
He's just a guy.
He is just a guy.
Yeah.
But
it's fine.
Everybody has to have a backup.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel as good about him as you do about Mitch Trubisky?
I feel better about Mason.
Okay. Then good. I do too. And so a lot of people believe that Aaron Rodgers is leveraging right now. And why not? He's got the Giants interested. He's got Pittsburgh interested. He might be waiting for the best deal. Both situations are, would you view them as similar? Pittsburgh maybe a little better based on the totality of the team
than the
versus
Giants. Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't want to get caught up or too caught up in what happened the last handful of games for Pittsburgh. Prior to them getting into that tough stretch right that end of the season, and as soon as we got their schedule, that's something you and I pointed at, like how backloaded the schedule was with all the AFC North games. They had that Chiefs game in there. You had that Eagles game in there, and then things got real for them, right? They did a great job getting to that point and racking up wins the way where they were supposed to. But that's got to be, the vibe check for them now is when you get into the competitive AFC North and you compete against some of the best teams around the league, what are they going to do at quarterback to close the gap there? But overall, big picture stuff where Pittsburgh is right now, I feel better about that team and that roster than what the New York Giants are cooking up at the moment, especially with the addition of DK Metcalf.
I'm with you. So did you find that, CB? All right, play me the Schefter one first.
To me, this shouldn't be that hard, right? Like the Steelers want you. The Giants want you. We're seeing players across the league make decisions. It shouldn't be that hard. Either you want to play or you don't. You want to play Pittsburgh or you don't. You want to play in New York or you don't. Like, Chewy, what are you going to have for lunch? You're going to make a decision, you're going to drag it out for 4 days, 5 days, a week. Like, it's not that hard. Make the decision and live with it.
So he's not wrong. He isn't. I think Schefter has, certainly they've had their history, but I don't think he's completely wrong here because of what's Rodgers fighting for? The money's not going to be drastically different, I don't think, between the two. And so he gets to just pick the spot. I did say that I was going to give Aaron a little bit of a pass and that this is his final decision. This is his final team. This is it. He's going to be 42 years old at some point during this season.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be over for him. So I'm giving him a little break and then it's the middle of March and he's
out there on a beach, though, in a towel. Do you see that picture? He just looks like he's out there roaming around, just walking like a sad puppy. That
you mean
picture's
like
been
in just a
everywhere.
towel?
No, I don't know. If you see it, it looks like maybe it's like a cover or something, but Aaron Rodgers just strolling around some beach somewhere, and he just looks like a lonely, sad man,
Maybe he was just getting some alone time.
I don't know. He needs to hurry up, though.
Maddie, when I sat in the locker room at the Hickory Huskers gym on Monday.
Yeah.
I was all alone. But I was in my fortress of solitude there.
Okay.
And I just sat there for a minute.
I got you.
When I called my brother and told him about everything, he said, how was it? And I go, it's fine. He goes, you're still there? I said, I can't leave.
I can't leave.
There's nobody here. Right. It's me and the ghost of Gene Hackman. I'm staying.
Yeah.
Stuffing. I'm staying.
I don't blame you for that. This Rodgers thing, let's go. Let's go.
I think you're underselling what a walk on the beach for a lonely man can do for you. The waves tumbling in, decisions made, lifelong choices.
A little picnic basket, some
maybe
champagne, charcuterie in there. Nice little vibe.
The waves shower over you like regret. All that good stuff. You discovered a soundbite today, both of you did, from a Gary Dulac.
Gary Dulac.
Or as I like to call him, Gary Fondulac.
He covers the Pittsburgh Steelers for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette with our guy, Ray Fittipaldo, over there in the Steel City. And he was on the Rich Eisen show. And he, according to his sources, believes that there's two quarterbacks in this draft that the Steelers may have their eye on.
Any names in this year's draft? Dart, Chuck.
I know.
What do you got for me on that front?
Well, I know they like Jackson Dart, and I know they like Will Howard, despite how he looked at the combine. So and there were about 5 or 6 guys they scouted at the combine heavily, but I would say probably those two if you're looking for somebody higher than normal, as opposed to maybe a 4th and 5th round pick.
What's interesting, AR, is
was the subtle flex from Rich there?
Yeah, no doubt. What's interesting,
when he said Will Howard?
Is when you talk about Jackson Dart specifically in this, is the trend or the momentum that's behind him is that this guy's going in the first round at some point. The Steelers are picking at 21. And so if they really like Jackson Dart that much, I think you're going to have to run up the card then because he ain't going to be there when they come back around. Will seems like a guy that you can probably grab late second, early third, mid third, somewhere in that range if they really like him. But the fact that Will's on their radar like that is obviously a good thing. And it's something we talked about, too, coming out of that combine performance. It's on these teams not to overreact to what he did in Indy. It wasn't a great showing, but that's not the big picture stuff. The big picture stuff is when the pads are popping and there's real game action going on, and he showed this year, especially down the stretch, that he can deliver. He's going to be a quarterback that probably needs some time to really get ramped up in the NFL. Maybe he'll be a starter one day. Maybe he won't. But I think if the plan is for them to bring in some combination of Aaron Rodgers, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and be a bridge to one of these guys, I see that vision. But they got to grab Dart, I would think, AR at 21 if they really like him.
Unless they can trade back in somehow. But I think it'd be playing with fire. I agree.
Yeah.
It's weird because it kind of gives them the Kenny Pickett vibes of reaching for him. And maybe they feel like he's a lot better. I'll tell you this. If Will Howard is on their radar, you almost don't mind that the stories out there or even the evidence, they didn't have a great pro day. You almost like it.
You mean combine, AR?
Combine, I'm sorry. You almost kind of like it.
Yeah.
If you're the Steelers. If you like him and you've seen the tape and you believe in him, you almost like, okay, you can live with a subpar combine. You could probably live with that. You don't look at that as the be-all, end-all. I start to think about whether or not I would reach for Will Howard, or you may not even have to reach, like you said. But there are a lot of teams I think, who knows how it's going to work out with him. But if I offered you Will Howard in the second or Jalen Milroe in the third, what would you do?
Ooh, based off of what I've seen, I'd go with Will. Even though there is a little bit of the AR special, he might come back to haunt me with Jalen and his skill set.
Athleticism.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the frame, the leadership.
He's completely opposite.
Will's ability to run as well and move the ball through the air. I would roll with Will right now.
And what I meant by complete opposite is that one guy was a very consistent passer in Will Howard, and the other guy isn't.
Right.
But the other guy is a little more tantalizing if you could get him later.
You rolling with Will too?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I've seen enough with the passing. I got to see it at the NFL level, but the only reason I was posing that is because you get Jalen maybe around later. There might be more value there. All right, we're going to come back with Pressure Cooker next. Find out who's going in. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
It's March, and you know what that means. Bracket season. You've crunched the numbers, picked your favorites, and maybe even taken a big gamble on that Cinderella team. But when it comes to your home, gambling is not an option. Spring storms are rolling in, bringing strong winds, heavy rain, and unpredictable weather. The question is your roof ready? At Newman Roofing, we don't leave anything up to chance. Whether you need a new roof, gutter replacement, or updated siding, our expert team is here to educate you, guide you, and give you the best options to fit your home's needs. No high-pressure sales, no surprises, just top-quality work from a team you can trust. That's why homeowners choose Newman Roofing, the #1 overall seed here in Columbus, because we deliver an unbeatable customer experience every single time. So, don't wait until the damage is done. Beat the storm before it ruins your big dance. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com to schedule your spot this spring. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Ooh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sports book. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Tough, reliable, and ready to work. You were born that way. Kubota is built that way. Our entire ag lineup, featuring versatile tractors and hay tools, powerful skid steer loaders, and the rugged Sidekick utility vehicle, is designed with the engine of a Kubota and the heart of a farmer. Visit KubotaUSA.com to find a dealer near you.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Get out there and enjoy the nice weather today. It'll be our last sunny day for quite some time. Sunshine today, near record warmth, high 78. That record is 78, so we could possibly tie or surpass that record. By the way, the average high for this time of the year, about 49. So we are close to 30 degrees above normal. Increasing clouds tonight, mild low 59, showers and thunderstorms on your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
Yes, a pressure-packed weekend. Honorable mention, Columbus Blue Jackets. Maddie, I'm going to surprise you.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm going to start with NBA.
Okay, I like it. What do you got?
I'm going to throw your Miami Heat in there.
Okay.
They had a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, man.
They played the Celtics tonight. Did I see that? 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They were like home court advantage.
Okay.
By the way, somebody just turned the lights out on us. And I saw, if you were just watching, you saw the lights go out in Georgia, and you saw them go out here in Columbus. I just read Maddie an email before we went to break. Hey, it looks like they're going to be shutting down a generator here in a minute.
Well,
There's some sort of generator update. So, CB, we're still on the air, correct? Thumbs up. So, 5-game losing streak for the Heat 2 months ago. Potential home court advantage in the East. A month ago, they're trying to avoid a play-in round. I think it's play-in or bust now. They have a game-and-a-half lead over the Bulls, who are the 10th seed. And the Bulls currently hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. So I go back to early February since the trade of Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. And all of a sudden, their goals are going way down of what they could be. They get the Celtics tonight. They have road games in Memphis and New York. They follow that up with the Pistons and Rockets. The next time the Heat are actually expected to be favored in a ball game is March 23rd at home against Charlotte, a team that, by the way, beat them earlier this week. Miami Heat, it's time.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Put up or shut up.
I'm glad you brought up their schedule because, some people might hear the Detroit Pistons in there and think that's some type of gimme. No. Go check out what they've been doing this year, despite what Shaq is saying publicly on TNT, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you saw that where he came out and said, I don't watch Detroit. Like, I don't even know who the coach is. Like, Shaq, you're getting $15 million a year, my guy. Come on. The Detroit Pistons are a playoff team right now. Credit to J.B. Bickerstaff and Cade Cunningham and the whole gang up there because they won, 14 games a year ago? And now they've won 37. So, yeah, absolutely tough sledding ahead for the Miami Heat. That's a good call. AR, how would you like a 2.63 ERA from your starter 2 years ago and a 3.41 ERA from your starter last year? That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, guess what? The guy who's doing that or did that, he ain't going to be available the entire year because that man is Garrett Cole.
That's right.
I know you'd probably like this too. If I slid a piece of paper across to you right now that said, AR, here's 8 years, $218 million. That is the contract one Max Fried received from the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole's done with Tommy John. Max Fried, they brought you in to be a dude. With or without Garrett Cole, you are going to have to be a key part to hopefully getting them back to the World Series where they were last year. But you remove Cole from the equation. Now Max Fried, he slides up, in my opinion, to that opening day starter, that ace role, a.k.a. win day. That's what you're supposed to be when you're an ace, right? The clubhouse sees your name on that score sheet that says Max Fried, or it says whatever starter you are, your ace you are around the league. The vibe is win day. Max Fried's been an absolute monster in the league for a long time down there in Atlanta. Yeah, he can absolutely go, but he's got to crank his game up to a whole nother level this season. I'm going Max Fried on the pressure list.
Like it a lot. All right, I'm going to go with your guy, Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
And some people loved him this week at the Players because he was going off at 80-1. And he has started in 4 events this season. Not horrible. Tied for 36, tied for 22nd, but he did miss a couple cuts. And he turned to the Players' Championship, an event he has played 4 times and had 2 top 10 finishes in 22 and 23. So there was a lot of upside to picking Victor Hovland this week, even though his results have been average. He's got a little short game problem, too. That's right. Golf-wise.
That's tough.
And I would say that all those people that liked him as value this week, they were wrong. He shot 80 yesterday. He was in last place. The pressure to be respectable, he tees off at 140 today. I'm also going to add a little other pressure on the ones who decided to ride history and bet that there will be a hole-in-one at 17 this week. It was going off at plus 145. They did have one last year. They had 3 the year before. They've had 3 years in a row with an ace at 17. I don't believe we've had one yet. So a lot of people hopped on the plus money, and they want to go crazy for this one at plus 145. So a little pressure now on the golfers to deliver again and keep the ace string going at 17.
Okay, I'm here for it. Second candidate for me. Going with a man that stands 6'4", 245 pounds. He was born on May 22nd, 2002.
Oh.
Yeah. Made me
strapping young lad.
Made me feel old saying that. First round pick, AR, 4th overall in the 2023 draft. Last name Richardson, first name Anthony. Anthony Richardson, former starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. I'm Ron Burgundy. I don't know. They're putting the man on notice because Danny dropping dimes Jones is in town now, and he's got a 1-year contract that's worth up to $14 million. Anthony Richardson has been very underwhelming. First year in the league, he only played 4 games, 59% completion percentage. Last year, he only played in 11 games, 47% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. The tools, the traits, skill set that he has is very, very appealing. He just has not put it together. And so ownership, the GM, all the decision makers over in Indy said, I don't know. Maybe we whiffed on this guy. We need more security, whatever security Daniel Jones is. They feel like Richardson ain't bringing it. So, Anthony Richardson, this offseason is massive for you. You got to get in the lab and lock in because the seat is warm. It's very warm for you right now. You're on the pressure list.
All right, last one for me, and I'll stick with golf because this is a story that just popped off in the last day. And I think there's going to be some pressure now on Rory McIlroy to be involved in this weekend and maybe win it. He won at Pebble Beach earlier this year. He's 9 under. He's right there near the lead. But what happened yesterday, Maddie, there's a kid who plays a champion golfer at Texas.
Okay.
His name is Luke Potter. And there's
Barry's brother?
Yes. The Chamber of Secrets.
There you go.
And he basically was heckling Rory. I don't think to a degree of, supposedly he made a comment. He was following Rory around with his boy, kind of broke off from the team.
Okay.
And said something and made a negative comment towards Rory about maybe a past failure or blow up maybe at the Masters.
Okay.
And there's video of Rory going over to this kid saying, "Give me your phone." The kid's like, "What?" Rory takes his phone and walks away with the kid's phone. You know me, I'm erring on Team Rory here, and that I don't think this kid should have been heckling him, and he should know better as a top collegiate golfer who, by the way, reps Texas. So with Scheffler and Spieth and all these guys congratulating this dude on winning last week.
Yeah.
Then he's at the players heckling Rory. It's out of character. It's stupid. He has apologized for it. But Rory actually not telling his caddy to do it or not telling his security guard, going over and confiscating the phone himself and then walking away. I think there's pressure on Rory now. I think there's a little 50-50 lemon lime going on which side you're on this thing. I'm going to err on the side of Rory because I'm not into the heckling, but I think he's going to feel something this week now.
Okay.
He's part of the story now.
Okay, something to watch, that's for sure. Last candidate for me. Baseball is right around the corner. You know, I usually get very excited about my Reds at this point in the year. Then we'll get a couple months from now, and I'm usually disappointed. But out there in Arizona right now, you've got a guy that's really turning things around. And his name is Christian Encarnacion Strand. Look, he's supposed to be the big bopper in the middle of this lineup, protecting Matt McClain and the superstar that is Ellie De La Cruz. Played in 29 games last year. He's got 30 home run potential. I need that. Us Reds fans need it. We deserve it, darn it. CES Christian Encarnacion Strand, the momentum that you've created in spring training. Let's carry that over into the regular season, and let's get busy in the NL Central. CESAR, he's on the party. It is officially print the shirts season. Hopefully he'll be on party this year. Right now, though, he's on the pressure list. Appreciate you playing that, CB.
Is the entire Encarnacion Strand on the jersey?
I believe it is.
Encarnacion.
I think we're going Encarnacion Strand.
On the jersey?
Oh, yeah. We're getting it all
smaller font.
Hyphen and everything.
Okay. All right. We need to check that.
Yeah, he needs to be a dude, man.
So his nickname is just what?
CES.
Just CES.
Yeah,
okay.
That's where we're going. Yeah.
All right. We come back in 2 minutes. Tej Seth, football data science. The Browns, can they win big with analytics? Rothman and Inniss on the Fan.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you. at mountcarmelforyou.com.
Basketball from noon to midnight. Scotty Vegas here, and we're throwing a Vegas-style basketball party at Hollywood Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I even went out to Vegas to scout out how to throw this party. Tough assignment. The Fan is doing 24 hours of watch parties. The opening weekend of the tournament, there'll be custom T-shirts, Pop-A-Shot, horse games. Oh, and don't miss a game with a 50-foot video wall. Reserve your spot at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, we get after it with our guy Tej Seth, data science. We do it all with him. He's on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Tej, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. Excited to talk about some of the recent NFL news today.
Yeah, I want to get your opinion on the Browns. They bring back Myles Garrett, or they keep Myles Garrett on this massive deal. They did sign a linebacker, Shawinka, to a one-year deal. When you examine the Cleveland Browns, and they're heavy into their analytics, do you like that strategy, and how would you grade them?
Yeah, so when you look at the Myles Garrett situation, and there's like a lot of good analysis out there about his contract and what the Browns have done to push money back so that they can spend extra money on players to add to their current roster. Like it was going to be a very tough situation to trade Myles Garrett because of how much dead cap space the Browns would have had to take on. So in a perfect world, if you're the Browns and you have a fresh regime and, you can trade Myles Garrett, get a lot of picks and really start to rebuild this roster. But because of the situation that the Browns were put in, I thought that this was basically their only option to extend him. And he's still playing at such a high level, even as he gets a little bit older here. And I think he can continue to do that for the next couple of years. So I do think it's still fine to have Myles Garrett on the roster going into this season and with the extension.
Let's stay in Cleveland and talk about the quarterback position. There's been some rumblings out there that maybe Kirk Cousins will be an option for them if he is released from Atlanta. If that is the case, your thoughts on Kirk Cousins coming to Cleveland and the fit that you think he would be up there with Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because when you look at Kirk Cousins last year, he ranked about league average in terms of expected points added. So from a production standpoint, he was a little bit below average, in terms of how much points he was adding on the field as a quarterback. And I am a little bit worried about him going from playing in a dome to playing the majority of his games outdoors. But I still think that he can give you a decent level quarterback play. And the baseline is probably still high enough where Kevin Stefanski can kind of run an offense that he likes to run, and Kirk Cousins can execute most of it while being limited in terms of the play extension ability that you would have wanted in the ideal situation.
Where do you stand on the Seattle Seahawks turning Geno Smith and DK Metcalf into Sam Darnold and Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
I thought this was fascinating by Seattle to really self-assess themselves and realize that they were a team that was probably going to win around 9 games for the next couple of years. And they had these older, expensive players on their roster like Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, and looking to move them where, there's signal in Geno Smith probably having a lot of or Seattle calling a lot of teams just to see where to move him, and then his old coach Pete Carroll being the one that wanted to give the third round pick to trade for him, and then also same with DK Metcalf, where he's not the tier of receiver that can be traded for a first round pick, so he ended up getting traded for a second round pick. And I do like these moves from Seattle because their offensive line was really, really bad last year, like one of the bottom 5 offensive lines in the league. And they need a ton of draft capital to rebuild their offensive line, where they basically need to fill 4 spots other than left tackle, where Charles Cross can play at a pretty decent level there. So by getting all these picks in this year's draft. I really think it'll help them start to rebuild their offensive line, and then they'll start to get the receiver talent back on top of that, and they can get younger and cheaper at quarterback with Darnold, and hope that in the NFC you can compete with Darnold playing at an average level and a pretty good supporting cast around him.
You brought up DK Metcalf. Let's talk about his new team, specifically the quarterback position. I know they brought back Mason Rudolph, but he's probably not going to be their starter. If you were Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith, their offensive coordinator, looking at the likes of, let's say, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, which one of those guys would you want to be your starting quarterback in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough question because, you saw good and bad things from both of them last year. But I do lean towards Aaron Rodgers because, I really trust Mike Tomlin to be able to handle some of the baggage that comes with Aaron Rodgers from an off-field standpoint. But purely on the field, Rodgers, coming off his injury last year, had some moments early in the season, but was mostly pretty shaky, as he adjusted to playing football again, and then started to look a little bit better at the end of the year. And what I really liked about him was he was really peppering Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson with the ball. They had very high target shares when it came to the rest of the Jets offense. And now you have George Pickens and DK Metcalf. So if you still have a situation where Rodgers wants to feed his top two receivers, he should be able to do that. I would be fine with the Steelers bringing back Russell Wilson if I was a Steelers fan, because he is still good at throwing the deep ball and then throwing to outside receivers. He doesn't use the middle of the field at all. And so if you have these two really good outside receivers, you see the fit there. But overall, I still lean towards Rodgers as the preferred option for the Steelers.
Visiting with our friend Tej Seth, Football Data Science Stats and Scheme podcast. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys and what they're not doing. I guess they could kind of rescue this if they get Cooper Kupp. Among their signings, Javonte Williams we talked about. They got an edge rusher, but Jerry Jones is not spending money, big money. He hasn't done that in a long time. Where are you on Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your sentiment there. I would be frustrated as a Cowboys fan because of the lack of free agency as they usually like to do. With Cooper Kupp, you look at a lot of his separation metrics. So, how many yards of separation is he creating from the defensive back? How open is he getting? And that's steadily dropped each year since he won Offensive Player of the Year. I still think he's a fine receiver option, someone who can be a receiver 2 or receiver 3 in the right situation. But he's not the same receiver that he was, 2 years ago or 3 years ago even. So if they do end up getting him, that would help because Dallas was really just missing a lot of pass catching talent last year, not having Brandon Cooks, the Michael Gallup injury, and Jake Ferguson taking a step back. And so adding Cooper Kupp into the mix just as another guy to have to be throwing to, would help for Dallas. But overall, still an underwhelming free agency from them.
Let's go over to the New York area and talk about the Jets and get your thoughts on Justin Fields now being their new quarterback, right? Whole new coaching staff with Aaron Glenn taking over as the head honcho coming from Detroit. But just your thoughts on Justin Fields now getting another opportunity to be a starter in this league and, hopefully a nice connection between Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and the gang over there.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to watch how Justin Fields does in New York, because in Pittsburgh last year, he had some ups and downs. Was generally somewhat productive, but nothing too special. But yeah, with Garrett Wilson there, I think that is a pretty big advantage to have as a quarterback, kind of having someone that can be your primary read, on a decent amount of your plays. So that should help him. I really just want to see him get better at going through his progressions when his first read isn't open and being able to read the entire field, because I think that's something he struggled with in Chicago and in Pittsburgh. So I know that's something I want to watch, but I do think that they'll have some fun designs in the run game from the offensive coordinator's perspective with what you can do with him, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, who also showed a decent amount of juice last year. That'll be fun to watch. It really just comes down to when he does have to pass, can he access the middle of the field like we saw the Lions offense be so keen on, and with so many of the Lions coaching members in New York, like will they have the similar offense for him to access the middle of the field?
All right, my man. Great stuff as always. Love talking ball with you and the moves that are being made around the league. Thanks, Tej. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me on. Always great talking to you guys.
Tej Seth, football data science on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Saw a great tweet just a moment ago, man. It said, Viking fans are refreshing their devices every couple minutes, hoping Aaron Rodgers is not the quarterback of their team.
You know, one of my boys, he's my boy Justin, he's a huge Vikings fan like you, and he's off that too. Like he doesn't want Rodgers to come to Minnesota.
I think you want to develop JJ. You want to see what it is. They've put a lot of money into whoever's going to be the quarterback and surrounding him.
Mm-hmm.
There's intrigue. I'm not going to lie to you. If there was an announcement that he decided to pick the Vikes, I'm not going to think it's the worst thing ever, but it just kind of keeps you treading water. I don't.
Yeah,
there's something about it that
for me right now, I honestly believe JJ provides a higher ceiling than Aaron Rodgers does right now. I truly
just
believe
this year.
That. Yeah, just in the years to come. JJ McCarthy does for Rodgers, but this year for sure. Like I think when you look at what they've done this all season with addressing some offensive line stuff, making some moves on defense that seem to be pretty good on paper right now. We know the weapons are already there. And, I'm a big fan of your head coach and what he does as a play caller. And so it's definitely a gray area as far as what you're going to get. But his skill set, to me, is more appealing than what Rodgers is right now.
You got him on a rookie contract for now 4 years. You got him. And he's won everywhere he's gone. And they have an elite weapons,
no doubt.
And we like their coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And they've spent money to improve the defense.
Right.
So it's time to maybe, as you say, let the kid go out there and see what he can do.
Got to find out, yeah.
All right, we're going to come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Remember when we talked about the infamous Bryce Underwood conversation with LeBron? Yeah. A Buckeye has reacted. We'll tell you who that is and what he said next. Rothman and Inniss and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At NJM Insurance, we like to think of ourselves as a symphony. We start with a foundation of doing the right thing. Then we layer in dedicated reps whose priority is you. Add in excellent discount programs. And last, but certainly not least, we put our policyholders first. And the reason we don't use jingles or mascots is because it's just not us. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hey, it's Anthony, and I've got a fitting personalized for you. From the moment you walk in the Good Feet store, they're going to take the time to understand your unique lifestyle, your daily routines, and most importantly, the pain that brought you in to see them in the first place. If your feet ache after a long day or that discomfort starts radiating through your knees, your hips, your back, I've been there. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And they're working for me. I walked all over the place in New Orleans covering the big game. I was loving it. I literally was walking for miles around the French Quarter, Canal Street, everywhere, because I had my personally fit arch supports in my shoes. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. I want you to be one of them. Go in, take the free test walk. They're immediately available. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
Scott the Scots here. How did the grass feel when it woke up from winter? A little crabby. Get it? Crabgrass? Right now, there's a short window of time to apply Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It stops crabgrass before it invades and feeds your lawn for a fast green up after winter.
Save up to $20 today at the Home Depot or Lowe's for Scott's Day-Long Saving Time. Offers valid March 6th through 19th. See store for full details and product selection.
Menards is the one-stop shop
or huge savings on new energy-efficient appliances. Upgrade your home today and save big on top appliance brands, including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. Buy now, save now on Whirlpool appliances you can take home today. Check out our entire selection of home appliances on Menards.com. Plus, view the weekly flyer for many other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
The Buckeye Show.
The next year or two, you giving him a shot to win it? I am. Devontae Smith wins the Heisman. You can't picture Jeremiah winning it?
I don't see how you could.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the chill? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Train furnaces, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. And we told you about the new Michigan quarterback Bryce Underwood, who said he told LeBron that, quote, it's over for Ohio State.
I think CB should play that. If it's still there. You know, sometimes there'll be sound in the system that we like, and then poof.
Except for the one that got
gone.
Recorded over the Tress. Good to see Anthony. Ice.
That's gone?
And it wasn't you.
That's gone.
Somebody recorded
I have to
over
redo the Dreamweaver one because that was written over.
That one's okay. That's gettable. I can't call up Tress and say, hey, can you reenact this?
Wait, so you're sitting here telling me we'll never be able to play that ever again? That has to be in some folder somewhere.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I texted that off. I'm like, do you have this?
Who cut it up? Do you remember?
It was me. It's wiped clean. I mean, no.
That's,
well, wait a minute.
That's unfortunate.
You never put it in a folder?
No, I did, but we periodically have to clean things out from time to time to help with the storage, and it's been 2+ years, so it went bye-bye.
You got to pour one out for that. That's tough because that's such a good clip.
So for people, I don't want to make you guess. So took the show on the road to Gigi's shelter golf outing last June, and Ice was off, and Thidoff filled in.
This one was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it was 2 years ago.
I was there last year because we talked
my bad. You're right.
Troy. It was awesome.
That's right. We had Troy and Arch. Yeah,
great.
That's right. So 2 years ago, and Thidoff is filling in, and Tress comes in, and I say hello to him. Obviously, covered him, known him for a long time, and he really doesn't know Thidoff from anybody, and he has no clue. And he sits down. I mean, Thidoff said hello to him, but probably didn't know who he was. Probably didn't think he was a co-host. Probably thought he was working the bar at the golf club. And we start the show, and Tress hears the open of the show. Mm-hmm. Or I say, it's Rothman and Ice, even though you're not there. Yeah. And I look at Tress and I say, it's good to see you. Anthony, good to see you. And then he looks over at Thidoff and goes, Ice? And we never corrected him.
No, you don't correct
the
that,
entire
man.
show.
Not Tress. Tress is about to be running the state here.
Well, the other thing Thidoff did that was a big mistake was when he tried to praise him for his great speech, his first speech ever. And what did that feel like at St. John Arena? And it was at the Shot.
Wrong location.
And Tress like, how old do you think I am? Anyway, that's the story.
Oh,
it's long gone. Now I
makes
can
me
only tell
sad,
it that
though.
way.
Because for the folks that hadn't heard that before, they deserve it.
And then you hear me laughing underneath because I didn't even know I could go on. It was the funniest thing.
Oh,
Anyway.
that is tremendous.
But we do have the Bryce Underwood.
Okay, there you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, play that. So Bryce Underwood, if you don't know who he is, big-time recruit from high school ranks. Michigan got him. They threw a whole bunch of money at him. He was committed to LSU.
Tell him how much.
Was it $10 million
supposedly
reportedly?
for the 4 years, yeah.
So he's a Michigan kid. As we know, they've been desperate to get elite quarterback play back in the building. He joined Rich Eisen on his show, who is a Michigan alum, and here's his story of a conversation he had with the one and only LeBron James.
And then I said, before this all started, just had to let you know, I go to Michigan. He was like, oh, yeah, it's over for Ohio State. So
he said that?
No, I said that. So
you said to him,
yeah,
it's over
he was
for
like,
Ohio State.
He said, Ohio State is home. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
How did he take that?
Laughed it off a little bit, and so.
You had to let him understand that the next few Novembers are going to go similar to, say, the last
four.
So 2 things. One, it's funny. The kid made a joke. Charlie Babbitt made a joke. Rich is the one that kind of poured a little gas on the fire, though.
Of course he did.
He could have let it kind of be just a fun little moment where Bryce was just kind of ribbing LeBron a little bit because he knows he's a big Buckeye guy. But when Rich said, oh, no, you had to let him know that it's going to go, like, that kind of took the lighter fluid to it a little more. I almost took the Jermaine one, or the Bryce Underwood one is just kind of, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Rich is a seasoned vet. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. So apparently you're saying that somebody over at the Woody?
Jermaine Matthews Jr.
Okay.
Very talented kid, part of that 23 recruiting class. I remember he enrolled in January and 23 and got into the spring drills. And he was the second highest rated player in the state of Ohio as a senior. And so he did what kids do and retweeted it with just basically a crying, laughing 3 emojis. Nothing too. Just.
We hear you, though. That's what that is.
That means it touched a nerve, which it should.
I don't know if it touched a nerve, but maybe it's just like you don't respect what the guy's saying. You think it's laughable that he would say that before doing anything.
I agree with that, too.
You know, in college. And so when you tease it, AR, I hadn't seen that. And my guess was going to be it was either a corner or a wide receiver that responded to that.
That's good.
Because those are always usually those are the position groups that do a lot of the talking.
That's good.
Or the corners. And I can't wait to see Jermaine Matthews this year because, like you laid it out well, man. The dude's got the goods, and that's going to be fun, right? And we talked about this yesterday. Those guys heard that. How can you not hear that? You got this kid that's coming from high school that hasn't done a darn thing at this level, talking about, hey, what's been happening the last 4 years when I'm under center, that's only the beginning. And yeah, if you're a competitor, that should light a little bit of a fire under you, especially when you're a vet like Jermaine Matthews is at this point.
Who could have responded that would have taken it even to another level? I would say if Julian Sayin would have done that.
Like, not on my watch.
Because then you would add 2 dudes that are not implanted yet as the starter. That would have done
That would have been awesome.
Now, if it was like Jeremiah Smith, that would have been fun too.
Yeah.
But I think if it was the other quarterback that doesn't have it yet.
You really want to set a tone? You get Matt Patricia to say something on record. I'm the new DC with my number 2 pencil.
I was going to say the head coach.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Ryan wouldn't touch that. He wouldn't touch that.
CB, probably the one guy that probably shouldn't do that.
Ryan's like,
well,
hey,
of course.
I got this trophy I'm shining up.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
Just let's leave the rivalry to the field.
To the kids. Let them have it.
And the field.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. On the bubble, Ohio, for those people still clinging to the dismal hopes of Jake Diebler's team getting in, I did check Joe Lenardi. He did update it a couple hours ago. You have been moved from before the game. You were last 4 in. You have now been moved past first 4 out to next 4 out. You're on the top line of the next 4 out. The bad news for them is the other team that's not playing any more games, Indiana, is in the first 4 out. You're not leapfrogging them. And so there's too many hurdles to clear.
Yeah, it feels like it's not going to be a March Madness appearance for them. Like, instead of a bubble right now, I'm viewing Ohio State as Mufasa in Lion King, where he was holding on for dear life at the top of the cliff, and Scar was up there, and he just let him off. That's kind of how I feel, unfortunately.
CB asked us a month and a half ago, how would you define success for this season? And I think I just said, make the tournament. Make the tournament. End the streak. Make it. Now, when he said, make your future, I would say when he asked us, I think you took it to another level also about, winning a game or something like that.
No, let's just get it. It's been 3 straight years.
Yeah.
Here's actually, this is a fact coming over from David Jablonski, who works with the Dayton Daily News. He's actually here locally, but he reported that the last time Xavier, which Dayton's in that first 4 out, right. Xavier just lost recently. They're in the last 4 and could be on their way out. Cincinnati should be out, and Ohio State should be out. Mm-hmm. The last time those 4 teams all missed or failed to make an NCAA tournament was 1981. Yep. So at least one team from that 4 ever since then.
Crazy. Wow. All right, there's your Buckeye Bulletin for today. We're going to come back top of the hour, Sports Center update, and you'll hear more from Myles Garrett, who met the Browns media and the Cleveland media this morning, and we'll get his take. Why the turnabout? You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Ooh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. All tournament long, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app. Sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Breaking news.
It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Cole Bartimus. The Blue Jackets got shut out by the Golden Knights in Nationwide last night. The return home from a long road trip was not very inspiring. 4-0. How about 0 for 3 on the power play? 22 giveaways. It was horrible. And to whom it may concern, Aiden Hill signed a 6-year contract extension with the Golden Knights this morning. And the hits just keep on coming with the Jackets because this homestand is not getting any easier. Rangers, Devils, and Panthers will be visiting. The scheduling gods have handed the Jackets almost exclusively playoff contenders recently. This team's got to bring their best stuff. And we got day 3 of the Big Ten Conference Tournament going right now. 8 teams remaining, and the matchups are all chalk. So 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, and so on. Michigan State is a pretty decent lead over Oregon at the moment. Wisconsin and UCLA later. Illinois and Maryland after that. Purdue and Michigan after that. This update is brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card. Apply at bmifcu.org/Visa.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. We'll talk draft with Ryan Roberts, A to Z Sports at 2:30. I think he'll give us a really good insight into what's going to happen there at the top, and if Cam Ward is indeed a lock to be the number 1 quarterback.
AR, I did see, you mentioned that first overall pick with Tennessee, that the odds for that first overall selection are heavily slanted right now towards Cam Ward. So Vegas knows something, and, they made some moves, bringing in some veteran offensive linemen where you drop a rookie quarterback in there, they'll make him feel comfortable. I was always in that camp, like, hey, I don't really see the vision with Will Levis. Let's try to figure something else out in the future, or here right now in the present into the future. But Vegas believes that Cam Ward's going to be the pick right now at 1 going to Tennessee.
You would still take Shedeur?
Man, I tell you what, I was watching some Cam stuff the other day, and I'm like, I never thought that he wasn't good. To me, he was awesome last year. I'm starting to lean to Cam's side on this thing.
He can be explosive. It's interesting because we've seen a lot of guys who, quote, can be explosive. Anthony Richardson, Jamarcus Russell back in the day. They're guys that can wing a football pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm only comparing him to Shedeur, who's very competent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very good. If you're betting on the ceiling, you'd bet on Cam Ward.
Man, he was slinging it around at a very, very high clip a year ago. And I know they had some good weapons down there, but everybody needs weapons. But behind Kyle McCord for most passing yards in the country last year was, Cam Ward. I mean, the top 5 was Kyle McCord, which is still wild to say. And credit to him for getting busy over there in Syracuse. But it was Cam Ward after Kyle, Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, and the guy you like really a lot this year, and Garrett Nussmeier down there at LSU in Baton Rouge.
All right, so the Myles Garrett thing was very interesting, and I want to just put this out there the correct way. He's an incredible talent. He's a future Hall of Famer. No one would ever deny that he's going to be worth the money that they're paying him if he stays healthy. It's the safest money you could probably spend. I think it's probably as safe to say that Josh Allen is worth that money, but, I think Myles was even asked. He was asked some very good questions today. And one of the ones, which I thought was the best, and I can't remember who asked it, was, do you have to win a Super Bowl in Cleveland for this to be the right decision? Because everything was based on him wanting to win.
Yeah.
And he dodged it pretty well by, there's no guarantee. We all play this game to win the Super Bowl. Well, the natural follow-up is not every team's created equal. It's a team game. You're not a sprinter. You have to do it with a team, and that's presumably why you wanted out. That you didn't believe that this team could get you to the top of the mountain. And suddenly, and we're all not dumb, he was lured back by being loved with the money and how much they can entrust in him now to be a leader and be an example for the younger guys and sell the Browns to free agents and be a part of something. He's an elevator. He can be that guy. And it was just interesting. We made a big deal out of the not meeting with Haslam. I know you thought it was maybe a bigger deal than I did, but I understood where you were coming from. But it was one of those things where I felt like maybe Haslam's feathers were ruffled based on what Myles was doing in the public, which is kind of dragging the Browns out there, like contender, don't want to go from Cleveland to Canton, all that stuff. Well, Myles was asked about that and the lack of meeting or wanting to talk to the owner and what that was all about.
Jimmy took a bit of a back seat leaning on AB and our relationship. And I think that's for the better. We want to have a good relationship with your owner, but as well as your GM. And him and I have had many discussions and conversations over the years, and he helped me see what the future can really hold for us.
Let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
Who put it out there that he wanted a meeting with the owner and the owner wouldn't meet with him?
I'm assuming
his camp?
Yes.
Had to be.
That his agent and Myles wanted that out there. That, hey, look, Browns fans.
He's
CB,
not the bad guy.
CB, I'm trying.
I want to talk to them.
I'm trying to figure it out. But they don't want to talk to me. They're leaving me on red. I think that absolutely comes from his camp.
Because I was in the camp of, what's there to talk about? You've gone public. You want out. Unless you're saying, I wanted to meet with him to mend fences because I want to stay.
Maybe.
That would have been different.
Maybe. I got to ask you this.
Yep.
Speaking of why would this be out there, who would want this out there?
Okay.
We've had a report over the last 24 hours, or maybe this dropped today. I don't know. But this comes from Jason Lloyd of The Athletic, who writes about and covers the Cleveland Browns. And one of the quotes that's coming out of this piece that doesn't make Myles look good at all is this. It's well known within the Browns that Garrett is frequently late to the facility. He has skipped mandatory team activities on multiple occasions. So that's coming from somebody in the building that wanted that out there. That does not make Myles look good at all. I don't get this. The timing of this, prior to the contract being signed, okay, you want to play the game through the media. You want it, like you said, AR, you're calling us out throughout the media. You're doing these media tours. Here's a taste of your own medicine. We're going to get it out there to a team reporter that you're late and you don't show up to some stuff. Post the contract, that's the head scratcher for me.
That's it.
You just gave him $120 million, in guarantees and $40 million a year, and this gets out there. I don't know about this.
So I think you are right on the case of you'd expect all of that right after he said, I want out.
Yeah, that's the game that gets played sometimes.
Yeah.
Why is this out there now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
I mean, that's a trusted reporter.
Yeah.
He got it not from just somebody working the cafeteria line, right? I mean, he got it from somebody.
Yeah, because he's not going to put that in a piece without him feeling like it's coming from a credible source.
Is it true, CB?
So I don't know if this is actually true, but I want to add some context to the story that happened afterwards. So Jason Lloyd from The Athletic wrote that piece. He was at the media today and had a question for Myles, and it appears Myles is aware of maybe him being behind the article because this is how he responded to his question.
Reviewed all their intentions with the second pick, and did that impact your decision at all?
Next question.
Oh, 100%. He asked him a draft question about the second pick.
If he was aware of their plans, and he was ready to say next question in the middle of the question.
So Myles,
why wouldn't he just say, if he didn't have a personal problem with him, why wouldn't he just said, guys, I'm not doing the drafting. Don't ask me. This is a good day. I'm back here, got a great deal. The Browns are really supporting me. I've got nothing to do with the draft. If they want to ask me, they can ask me. Yeah. But I haven't been asked. And if I am asked, I certainly wouldn't say anything public to tip our hand.
Yes, I agree. And that answer and that energy screams he ain't happy with Jason Lloyd.
That's right.
For putting that out there.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Lloyd did write the story.
This comes from the Athletic.
So yeah, he absolutely was
For
shown
Jason
that,
Lloyd.
and he knows it's him. And now he's going to have to dig himself out with Myles somehow.
Well, and Myles may be behind the scenes sniffing around. Was this Andrew Berry? Was this, I don't know, Stefanski? Was it the Haslam's? Who was it? Right?
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
The only you could sniff it out if you're him, but you have to ask yourself a bigger question. Is it true? If it's not true, he has every right to just never talk to the reporter again. Only he knows, and his coaches and other people know if it's true. If it is true, and he's getting the star pass, I don't have to show up to everything. I can be a little late to things because I am the most talented on the team, then maybe he won't go to the end of the earth to try to find out.
Maybe not, because maybe he's looking around with his nice brown suit on and seeing all the dinosaur toys and what the dinosaur cupcakes and all that stuff that they had. Did you see that today? It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked like a little kid's birthday party. They wanted to make him feel like he was loved. Guess where they made him feel loved?
Cha-ching!
Yes. Like, very loved.
Yeah.
And he's great. And they're happy they have him. It's unbelievable. For Browns fans, it's great. You couldn't lose this guy. 4-time All-Pro, future Hall of Famer, sacked every quarterback in the league. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah. It's just, like CB always says, like, it's always something with this franchise. Because today was just supposed to be about Myles and positivity and like building the future, and then you get this story that drops about the guy that's supposed to be bringing all the and look, maybe this won't even matter. It probably won't even matter when we get to the fall, but it's just like, here we go again with some type of negativity swirling around this team.
There were questions at this press conference that zeroed in a little more on, now that he is this guy, do you have more responsibility now? They went to leadership. It went to example. Like, I think they were kind of, maybe
my
this narrative's been out.
If you ask me that from Myles Garrett, hunting quarterbacks. That's it. It's my job.
Yeah, but
it's my job.
There's a little more than that. I mean, great teammate, great leader, great example maker. I mean,
I'll
there's
take
stuff.
dicey teammates and guys that aren't the best leaders. They're out there on the field getting busy and playing at Hall of Fame level. That's just me.
Okay. I'll take a co-host who's a little dicey, doesn't show up to everything.
Man.
But we get it done. We have fun.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back. I do want you to hear that soundbite, though, about does the contract change his responsibility? He'll answer that in pre-snap reads next. Rothman and Inniss and the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Sometimes you don't realize something was bothering you
until it's gone.
That's how you're going to feel
after we work our magic at your house.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring's going to be here before you know it. I know it feels cold now, but before too long, you're going to be outside running around, jogging, wanting to do golf, explore time with your family. Get outside and do the things you love. Just be active. And listen, a lot of my friends, They're asking me about QC Kinetics joint treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. And if you're wondering, maybe you could be a good candidate, let's see if the answer is yes to any of these questions. Quality of life impacted by chronic pain, knees, hips, back, shoulders, other things. Trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Check. Next, avoiding surgery, the pain, the downtime? Check. Most importantly, do you miss doing the things I talked about when the spring and summer are here? Check. Don't wait. If you answered yes to one or any of those, you'd be a great candidate. You can go in there, go to QC Kinetics, ask for their free consultation, find out what it's all about, learn about the latest advances in regenerative medicine. They've got locations in Dublin and Gehenna, or you can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus, or better yet, call 380-208-4544.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus.